So again, hello everybody. My name is Sanja Fabrio. I'm the co-founder and managing director of RegHorizon. It was my pleasure to host you together with my colleague Ayisha Piotti and Professor Elliott from ETH Zurich during the past 2 days of the AI Policy Conference. And these days were amazing. We had great expertise, very relevant discussions and ideas on all panels, and research reviews that we had the privilege to assist. And we will continue having a last session that will continue also sharing some of the cutting edge research with us in a moment. Thank you, especially you, the audience. You were really great. Thanks for all the questions and suggestions you had. So as we close these 2 days, I try to very quickly recap some of the things that we heard. And I guess we will share the realization of everybody that this was a very needed and important discussion, but we also just scratched the surface. We heard yesterday on the panel on trust, innovation, and growth, questions and attempted answers on what are the specific challenges of balancing innovation and regulation. What are the elements of an effective AI policy? And that keeps coming back, obviously, because that was the focus, and we tried to look at it from various angles. Some suggestions on how to bridge the digital divide between the developing and developed countries. And that continued in a way in a data privacy and consumer protection panel yesterday, the second panel we heard from. We talked about regulations that should adapt quickly to developments of AI technologies and how governments can support organizations to turn ethical frameworks into regulatory frameworks. We earlier today heard on geo-harmonization and discussed the key needs that large and small businesses have in this area. We also heard about the current status of policy developments in the EU and discussed a few steps that we can take to essentially make it more inclusive in terms of how we discuss these things. The panel 4 on healthcare and AI policy in healthcare highlighted the ways to increase adoption levels of AI in healthcare, including the role of policy. We also discussed the challenges of data management in healthcare and how to make them higher quality, more accessible and meaningful for both developers and reviewers or regulators. And lastly, on this panel, great panel, thank you all. We explored the specific roles of governments and educators, innovators, businesses, and citizens in making sure that we have the better outcomes. We heard about the challenges of unknown unknowns generated by network problem of the new technologies, and also how to ensure accountability, I think a very important comment, and enforce it through policies and incentives in place, and hold actors accountable for making it all happen. So yes, we have heard some excellent suggestions on how we can make the future of AI better, safer, and more equitable. And we need you to get all in. So the time is to act now. So before I move to Ayisha, who will tell you how we plan to do it, I'll pass on to Elliott from ETH Zurich, our partner and co-host, to introduce the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanja. Just on behalf of the Center for Law and Economics at ETH Zurich, I want to thank everyone for their valuable contributions, from the panelists, from the organizing team at Diplo, to RegHorizon, and to all of the interesting comments by the participants. I think it's safe to say we're only at the beginning of this transformation of the economy, government, and culture due to artificial intelligence, and there are many debates to be worked out and a lot of work to do. I hope you're as thrilled as me to be a part of that. On a more micro level, we have some examples of that work to come at the AI policy research seminars. The rooms will open at 7 p.m. and the presentations will start at 7:05 p.m. I would like to extend a warm invitation to all participants to join for these sessions. And I'll paste the information about those into the chat one more time in a second. But until then, back to Sanja and Ayisha to wrap up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sanja. Thank you, Elliott. For me, the one key takeaway that came out of our conference is that for us to really build the right future, we need to think strategically, have a long-term vision, but we also need to start acting now. It is also clear that in order for that to be achieved, we need to work collaboratively in collaboration and, of course, have an inclusive approach. So as next steps, we will be finalizing a report on the key elements that were discussed during these last 2 days with the help of ETH Zurich. You will also have a chance to access the recordings of all the sessions on RegHorizon's YouTube channel. And moreover, during the next few months, we will be focusing on setting up multidisciplinary projects based on some of the identified areas that we have discussed through these last 2 days. As Sanja said earlier, in order to do this effectively, we need to hear from you, specifically about your needs, about your experiences, how you can contribute your expertise, and the best practices that you can share from around the globe with us. As Sanja also mentioned at the beginning of the conference, we have a great opportunity here in Switzerland to facilitate this process. As a pragmatic and neutral country with excellent academic institutions with a focus on innovation, Switzerland is also very well positioned as a key anchor for international organizations and hosts global headquarters for numerous multinationals. So we have only just started the dialogue and much more still needs to be done. So if you're interested in being involved in the process, we invite you to join us to build further on this topic. Lastly, I wanted to highlight that our mission at RegHorizon is to help our clients think and act strategically in the area of public policy and to connect the dots between the needs of businesses, regulators, social change drivers, thought leaders, and innovators. So I do hope that we have been successful in achieving some of this during the past 2 days. So feel free to contact us directly to explore any of this further. You can find our contact email in the chat or, of course, on our website. And with this, I would like to announce the close of our main conference. Those of you who wish to follow ETH's academic paper reviews, as Elliott said, can please go and follow the link now. That starts at 7. A big thank you to all our panelists, to our co-partners, ETH Zurich, Logitech, AUS, and the Diplo Foundation who made this event possible. And of course, a big thank you to you for your involvement during the last 2 days. So let's say that we will keep in touch, but bye-bye for now. Thank you. Bye-bye all.
Bye, everyone.